Yo, what up? What up? Greetings, everybody. How y'all doing today, man? Hope y'all doing wonderful on this beautiful, prosperous Monday. Just checking in. Want to kind of address a situation that recently took place over at Bethune-Cookman. I felt like it was only right to address this situation, seeing as though I am myself an alumni of an HBCU, take pride in being just that. And I'm always looking to stay abreast and up to date with the current state of HBCUs as we speak, because we are talking about the institutions of higher learning for our Black brothers and sisters who have dreams and aspirations of being in these different types of spaces work-wise and being able to compete in the global community. With that being said, I want to make sure I address some things and be very precise about what it is that I am looking to address. Not necessarily taking sides, but want to give a broader perspective to the situation as it pertains to the recent events of what took place over at Bethune-Cookman with Coach Ed Reed, former Hall of Fame safety for the Baltimore Ravens, played for the Jets, one of the greatest safeties of all time, if not arguably the greatest safety of all time, along with situations like that's pretty similar to the situation that happened at Jackson State with Coach Prime, with his departure from Jackson State. And just I want to address a lot of that outrage from the Black community when it comes to these situations as they relate and correlate with each other, and how we've been responding, and how disappointed I am in how we've been responding to these situations. First off, let me start off with talking about what recently happened with Ed Reed. So as you guys may know, because I've done my research, looked up the incident that happened, watched the videos that he had obviously posted on social media. Obviously, share a sentiment with his frustration, not necessarily the way he went about expressing his frustrations, but his frustrations were definitely warranted and very much so loud and clear. And for those of you who don't quite understand what I'm referring to, let me just break it down to you. So just a couple weeks ago, unofficially, Ed Reed was given the job to become the next head coach for the Bethune-Cookman University down in Florida, football coach. And so he hadn't quite signed. He hadn't even officially signed his offer letter, making it official. But obviously, what he had started doing was start to make his rounds around the campus to get his feel for the conditions of the field and facilities and things of that nature, seeing how much equipment was there versus not. From my understanding, it was either told to him that some things about the university, things about the campus was going to be improved upon his arrival, and it may or may not have been the case upon his arrival there. So what initially took place was he found a lot of garbage, a lot of rubbish, a lot of just debris and trash all over the damn school, preferably on the track and field side and on the football side of things. And with him seeing this, he was very appalled and taken back by the fact that he himself, coming to a situation like this, was going to have to be involved in the cleanup process of this. Now, I want to help you all understand something, just to put things in perspective and context here. You all do know that PWIs, now obviously no school is perfect and no school is without any issues per se. But I can tell you this much, on average, there are no PWIs dealing with the situation that he has been succumbed to over at Bethune-Cookman. And I can tell you this much also, that this has been very consistent with how the conditions or lack thereof at HBCUs have been basically displayed in recent years. We have seen more times than not, the HBCUs, obviously our private institutions, aren't being funded as much as PWIs, and rightfully so. Funding, ladies and gentlemen, is based on enrollment, okay? You cannot ask the government to fund you the same amount, the institution that has an enrollment of 3,000 children, to help fund you the same amount of money that they would fund a public institution that has 33,000 students enrolled. The math ain't math in there. There's no way you're gonna get the same amount of money that an institution that has 33,000 students versus an institution that has 3,000 students. It's not nowhere near remotely close to that. Now, Having said that, the money that's been given to these institutions, now mind you, there are 107 HBCUs currently in the United States, one of which is a public institution, which is Tennessee State, and recently became public. For whatever reason, they decided to do that. That was, that was the best decision they wanted to go for them. Kudos to them for that. I wish more of us would start to transition to that public mindset, because with public funding, obviously, becoming a public institution, you're going to obviously be given possibly more money, because you're going to start to have more students looking to enroll into your institution. Now, with that, is a lot more oversight when it comes to the government and what they want to see from your institution as it pertains to the amount of money that you're asking from them for. So if you're not fulfilling your duties, managing the money well that you have already established, why do you think the government is going to be able to come over here and just give you whatever money that you want? Just give you a blank check, tell you to write the damn number down, and just say, you know what? All right, let me know how much money you need and we'll give it to you. It doesn't work that way. Now, getting back to the situation that's at hand, Ed Reed took it to social media to express verbally and just emotionally express his frustrations with what he had to be subjected to, with all this trash all over the damn practice facilities, all over the football stadium, all over the damn track and field stadiums. The fact that he himself, as a new, basically coming in as a new coach for this institution, having to sit here and go through different areas of the damn campus and start cleaning up, that's not part of his job description. That is not what he came to this damn school to do. Now, I can tell you this much. There are a lot of situations that mirrors this very situation that he has been subjected to at Bethune-Cookman and other HBCUs. As an alum myself of Rusk College, I won't go into much detail about the things that I have been succumbed to and been subjected to, and most of our alums will also agree with me when it comes to the conditions of these schools, because recently we saw some of our kids not only take to social media, they went to local news to report exactly what these living conditions consisted of, and how the tuition kept constantly going up, but yet the conditions of the school was not mirroring what the amount of money that the school was asking for from these kids. And they had every right to sit up here and basically express their frustrations with the administration, with the institution, stating that, hey, you're going to ask for this kind of money, it comes with a price. I need to be given adequate and up-to-date curriculum and books and technology, everything that I would need to become much successful in my own right in terms of the majors that I'm majoring in, being able to compete in the global community. Now, if that's not going to be the case, then I can just take my money elsewhere and go somewhere else. Now, we, ladies and gentlemen, in the Black community have a problem when it comes to bitching and complaining about so many different things and then not really zoning in on one particular thing. Now, with this black man, I want you all to understand something about Ed Reed. Ed Reed, mind you, did not even attend an HBCU. Neither did Coach Prime. Coach Prime went to Florida State. Ed Reed went to University of Miami. He's a Hurricane boy, down there from Florida. Both of them are, but went to two different schools. They took it upon themselves. Now I know a lot of people are going to sit up here and give me flack about saying, well, they didn't have to take the job. Okay, taking the job is a two-way street. They have to offer you the position. You have to also accept it. But here's the thing about this. With these two gentlemen in particular, these are two Hall of Fame players who are the greatest at their position all time, right? They have made millions upon millions of dollars. They have developed and basically established solid partnerships and relationships with a lot of different companies, a lot of different sponsorships that they were bringing to the table. So you ain't just with hiring them. You're not just hiring them as coaches. You're hiring them, and they're bringing along their resources to help fund the school, to help get the school much more recognition, and be able to be in a better position than what they were in before their arrival. Now with Ed Reed, now we're hearing about the school is possibly retracting their offer from Ed Reed as it pertains to him verbally and basically expressing his frustration on social media, basically outing the school's mishaps, if you will. Now, this is a problem that I sincerely fucking have with our HBCUs. Now, we talk about how we want to sit up here and educate our young black men and women to help them compete in the global community. That's fine. But when we having these types of issues and we want to keep them in-house, but yet they haven't been addressed yet over the years, what the hell do you expect for people to constantly do? If, again, we're living in a hypersensitive society right now where publicly displaying your frustrations on social media is going to get a lot more done than not. Now, on the side of everyone's frustration when it comes to how he went about this, I'm going to agree with you all and say there could have been several ways he could have addressed it. He could address the situation. But let me ask you all this question. Are you more frustrated with him going to social media and displaying these types of issues? Or are you more upset at the damn institution for having these fucking issues to begin with? Because if you're not more upset at the institution for having these types of living conditions that these current students are subjected to, then you are part of the damn problem. The fact is, this black man is doing the best that he can. He's taking his talents and his dreams and aspirations of becoming a head coach for a football team and the knowledge that he has gained and obtained as a star player himself in his own right to be able to translate that into today's young men who are looking to be in the same position that he was in at one point in time and get to a place where they're getting gold jackets at the end of their damn NFL careers too. Now, mind you, he ain't just coming in to just be a football coach. He's coming in to be a mentor to some of these kids, be a father to some of these kids too, because a lot of them are coming from impoverished neighborhoods, single family homes, which is going to require him to have to take more of his inner resources rather than his external resources to be able to really teach these young men, not just about football, not just about professional football, but about life in general and how to navigate through life's trials and tribulations that they were actually ultimately going to have to be subjected to because life happens. But the fact is, he's doing all of this and he doesn't have to do that. He could simply just went to a PWI and just joined on staff there because from my understanding, he was on staff at the University of Miami, but he chose to want to take his talents and his knowledge to an HBCU to help revamp the program. I commend every black man, especially every former pro athlete who decides to go to HBCU to contribute to that program in such a way that is going to impact not only those kids that are currently there or on those teams, but also impact just the notoriety of the school. Now you're bringing so much recognition, positive recognition to this school on top of the sponsorships and money and just the longevity of that sponsorship is going to actually continue on even when that coach leaves. Now, how this ties together with Coach Prime's situation, I'll tell you how. One, the fact that everyone was so up and adamant about Prime leaving so soon when he never told you all he was going to stay long term. He never told you all he was going to stay 10, 20, 30 years and then leave. He never said that. He said that when the opportunity arrived for him to take a better position somewhere else, he was going to actually do that. And he was upfront about that. Now, you all still took it upon yourselves to be fake outraged about his shit. And now you're over here deeming him as a bad guy, telling him you hope he fails at University of Colorado when he's brought Walmart sponsorships, he's brought Under Armour, he's brought American Airlines. He's brought sponsorship to the school that on average you all yourselves wouldn't have been able to do. Now, also the fact that the alums of the school were sitting here trying to put the fate of the university on one man's shoulders when they themselves were not even in positions or trying to be in positions to actually contribute to the betterment of the damn school either. So you're going to sit up here and tell me he ain't do enough when the man, he won the damn SWAC, 2-3 years in a damn row, only lost but a couple of games, if that much. He revamped this damn entire program, brought sponsorship, took half his money, half his salary, and donated to the school for them to get better practice facilities, better locker rooms, better football stadiums, all these other things that happened. But mind you, none of you all batted a fucking eye when the very first game he coached, he come back in the locker room and find out all this shit was stolen. And when his son, who was also transferred there with him, had his damn car broken into. None of you all said a goddamn thing about that though, but yet him leaving is such a damn problem for you that it's like, you know what, fuck Prime, he did this, he sold us out, he only did this to boost himself up. Listen, each and every one of us have dreams and aspirations to become something greater than what we are right now. And if you don't, then I seriously hope that you're seeking professional help so that you can actually really zone in on why that's the case for you. Because if you're content with where you are, content and complacent is such a dangerous thing a dangerous state of mind to be in, because now you're You're saying this is all it's going to be for me and it's all I want. No. It's so much more to life than what you have currently that you need to go out there and be working hard enough to go get it. It's not going to just fall in your damn lap. The fact that this black man, these two black gentlemen brought their talents, resources, money, all these other different things, sponsorships, the whole nine, to these institutions that they themselves, prior to their arrival, wasn't able to get for some damn reason, because you're hiring too many of the wrong damn people. Because we've seen more times than not in our black institutions that people, our own, it be our own. It be our own doing us like this, because we've had situations where we sit up here bitching and complaining about not being funded enough, but yet the money that you have or have been given, you're mismanaging it, or you mishandling the funds. Now, I know you all know a situation that, and I can go down a list of situations, but I won't. But I'll use this one situation as an example of what I mean about mishandling and mismanaging funds. So at Howard University, there was a young black gentleman who was, I think, the assistant director of financial aid or financial aid director or whatever, wasn't getting paid as much as you all would like to think he was getting. But sitting up here taking trips to Paris and Greece and shit, and bought him a damn Range Rover with the damn money that was being given by to the school for him to actually put to good use. And yet he was taking the money and applying it to his own damn personal life. We've had too many incidents like that at our institutions where we're doing this shit to ourselves, but yet we want to sit here and bitch and complain and be fake outraged by a black man who actually expressed his concerns and frustrations about what the current conditions of the damn school is, rather than being mad at the school and the administration for him having to be subjected to that. You're more upset at him for actually pointing this shit out on social media. That's bullshit, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm calling this shit out. If you're not part of the damn solution, you're part of the problem. Now, what's going to happen is you sit up here forcing this man out to not take the job and not actually officially sign his name on the dotted line to officially become the coach. Guess what's going to happen? Now you're back to square one. Who are you going to find now? Because I guarantee you, this black man, Ed Reed, Coach Reed, he had a lot of connections. He had a lot of partnerships. He had a lot of friendships from the NFL. A lot of his brothers in the NFL, his fraternity brothers in the NFL, that he is very close with, who are all Hall of Famers too in their own right, or even just good players or great players for that matter, who have dreams and aspirations of being coaches. Guess what he's sitting back and telling them? And I wouldn't even blame him if he is telling them. I don't want to sit up here and put words in this man's mouth, but I will tell you this much. I wouldn't blame him for telling him, hey man, you see the shit I had to go through? Don't even bother going there, man. Don't even bother putting your energy or attention to an HBCU, because that's the kind of shit you're going to be subjected to. That's unfortunate that if he does do that, that's going to discourage any other form of black players from even using their platform and wanting to expound on their dreams and aspirations to mentor and coach young black men at historically black colleges and universities. So guess what's going to happen now? Now you got to sit up here and find someone who just has a knack for being a coach. They might be a good coach. They don't have the same notoriety, respect and recognition and money and resources as Coach Prime or Ed Reed do. But guess what's going to happen now? Now the sponsorship that you would have had, now you're not going to get it. Or now you got to work twice as harder to get it again, or to ever get it for that matter. Because now, since you're telling him you're going to retract your offer from him, he can retract all of his resources too. Not only his resources, but the damn recruits that he brought to the damn school. Because he brought children, he brought young black men to this damn school who wanted to play for him. He recruited them for that. But now you're going to have other kids who currently go there who are on the football team saying, hey, man, well, you know what? If Coach Reed ain't here, then I ain't here. I'm about to transfer. And if you all know anything about the NCAA now, they just recently passed the law or the policy to allow kids to just transfer flat out and not have to wait a whole year after they transfer to another school. Now, when you transfer, you can go transfer right to another school and actually go play that same year you transferred. Now, you don't have to wait anymore. So guess what's going to happen? Now you're going to have less talent. And this is all a domino effect, ladies and gentlemen. A domino effect that's going to ultimately impact you more than it's going to impact him. Because guess what? He's going to still be all right. He still got millions. He still got that gold jacket and that bronze head statue of him at the Hall of Fame in Canton. Where are you now? Now you're back looking to see if I can find another Ed Reed. And guess what's going to happen? Word of mouth gets around in the NFL, because not everyone in the NFL or former NFL players have dreams and aspirations of becoming a coach. But guess what? The ones that do, and trust his word on it or trust Coach Prime's word on it, hey man, don't even waste your time, man. Because all the fuck they want is money. Because they're not even handling the money that they get right. But yet you don't sit up here and tell me that I'm wrong for pointing out all this shit that I got to deal with that has nothing to do with my job. Listen, you hired him to be a damn coach of the damn football team, not the goddamn custodial staff member or the damn janitor of the damn school. That's not his job, and it's not his students or his players' job to be going out there and fucking performing community service acts. So now we're gonna turn this shit into a community service event where children at the school having to take time out of their day to go clean up the goddamn campus. Really? Instead of actually having a custodial staff that you hired, that you pay money to actually clean this stuff up. Now, you can obviously have different situations throughout the semesters where you're doing campus cleanup and students are involved in it. But this ain't what that is. These kids are just starting to come in. This is spring semester now. These are some of his recruits are coming in just to get a feel for the university. Now they come in with their parents too. And a lot of you all with this fake outrage bullshit go sit up here and had the damn nerve to tell me that he was wrong for pointing it out. But I guarantee you that if your son or daughter was at this damn school and the damn conditions was like this, you would be throwing a damn fit in a nanosecond. So I'm calling bullshit at each and every one of you all who are sitting up here fake outrage about how he did this. I'm telling you all, yes, he could have done it a different way. That's a separate issue that can be easily dealt with and fixed. But the issue at hand is the current state and living conditions of the goddamn schools that we call institutions of higher learning for historically black colleges and universities. We're asking for our young black people who are being pushed and motivated to go to our HBCUs to go no matter what the damn conditions are. So we're not going to hold these administrations accountable for the living conditions of these damn schools, but yet we're going to sit up here and act like it's okay for the administrations to keep throwing out the whole idea of donate money. When I donate money, it ain't going to good use. How many fucking times do you want me to keep donating my money when I could just be throwing the damn money away myself? Because clearly you're not managing the money well enough. You're not doing well enough with the damn money that's being given to you by the government. But yet you keep wanting money. But yet you had someone there at Bethune-Cookman, for example, who brought more than money. He brought experience. He brought mentorship. He brought fatherhood. He brought resources. He brought sponsorships. He brought recruitment. He brought all these different things that you were lacking prior to him being hired as the damn coach of the damn school. So now look where you are now. You have put yourself in a position, and ladies and gentlemen, this ain't just Bethune-Cookman. This is bigger than just one institution. This is the entire hierarchy of HBCUs. All 107 HBCUs have a lot of issues to deal with. It may not be the same issues. It may not be on the same level, but the unfortunate fact is we are in situations where we're doing this shit to our own. So now, when it comes to the situation in parallel to Coach Prime's situation, we're asking Coach Prime to do all this shit. We asked him to part the Red Sea without a goddamn staff, which is very unfair. But yet, we bitch and complain about everything. So I need to ask this question to my black people in my black community. What the fuck do we really want? What is it that we want? What do we want to happen? Because on one hand, we bitch and complain about there's lack of representation at these predominantly white schools when it comes to opportunities given to black men to be head coaches of these goddamn programs. But then on the other hand, we're bitching and complaining about not enough of our former pro athletes going to these HBCUs giving back, despite them not even being students there at one point in time or another. They were never students. They never enrolled in the HBCUs, but yet they're giving back their time, effort, money, and resources to these institutions. And we want to sit up here and throw dirt back in their fucking face and tell them just roll with the punches and just do what we tell you rather than fixing the goddamn issue that's bigger than them. This issue is bigger than Coach Reed. It's bigger than Prime. What the fuck are we doing to hold each other accountable for what's not being done at our institutions? And I'm talking to every last one of us, but I'm specifically talking to every last one of us that attended an HBCU. You went to an HBCU, you know the conditions of your HBCU. I won't even go into detail about every single incident at every school, or even just mine preferably. I'll do that at a later time, but I will tell you this much. You're going to keep asking for money from us, and you think it's not going to come with a price? See, the alumni's donation are supposed to be a resource, not the source. I want you all to understand. Hear me again. Let me make sure I say that even slower, just so you caught that. The alumni donation, okay, it's supposed to be a resource, not the source. When you're relying solely on our contributions to the school, it lets me know you're not doing your job as a public relations person or as a athletic department chair, whatever the case may be. What are you doing to have fundraisers, to have more philanthropists out here, more Black wealthy elites out here who are looking to donate money? What are you doing to communicate with them? What are you doing to not communicate with them, to get them to come to the school and see that you are in need of money from them, and not just no one-off either? Because giving a one-time donation does what? Because we're going to be right back in the same position the very next year after that money runs out. So we need this to be an ongoing and a continuous effort to donate money. But every single time we see Black elites or Black wealthy people donate to schools, HBCUs preferably, we see it's the FAMUs, it's the Howards, it's the Clark Atlantis, it's the Morehouses, it's the Spelmans. It's always the same ones that's getting money donated to them. Why is that? Ask yourself that fucking question. I can tell you part of the reason why that's the case, because when it comes to displaying the best examples of what's to come from these institutions or what's coming out of these institutions, they can do that. But the ones who are less fortunate with being able to show what's the better side of the institution or better side of the campus, they can't do that, because now it's going to be too many questions asked as to, okay, why is this outdated? Why is this building not up to date? Why is this building got all this trash in it? Why these mattresses haven't been exchanged, or even why haven't these dorms been brought new mattresses? Why these dorm rooms still got the same mattresses they've had 10, 20, and 30 goddamn years ago? Why are you not changing out these mattresses? Why are you not changing out the shower heads? Why is there mold on the goddamn walls of the damn bathrooms? Really? We're doing this. See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you all something that you're not going to like, if among other things I've already said. Black lives have to matter first to us before we can ask it to matter to any fucking body else. That's the bottom line. We have to do better with establishing a Black standard that we're going to either hold each other accountable for, or we're going to stop with this fake outrage bullshit, or we're not going to do nothing at all. Point blank period. It has to be all or nothing. It can't be no gray areas here, because every single time something happens, we see a lot of people coming out with the fake outrage bullshit because they're taking advantage of this hypersensitive ass society that we're living in, where everybody's offended by every goddamn thing all the fucking time. And I'm saying it that way because I'm frustrated now, because I must have been telling you Ed Reed was right with the way he approached it, but I'm not more upset with him doing that than I am the damn institution that even subjected him to that kind of fucking conditions of the damn school. The school needs to be more responsible for being held more accountable for what they're not doing, to make sure that they're putting out the best product they can when it comes to the whole entire experience of the damn campus, the whole entire experience of the curriculum, the textbooks, the technology, the resources, all these things. You have to first manage the money that you currently have in order to ask for more money. That's even applicable to our everyday lives, ladies and gentlemen. We can sit up and bitch and complain about the job we have ain't paying enough, but what are you doing with the money that you currently are making? Are you managing it well? Are you mishandling it? Are you spending it on bullshit? So you think the answer to your problem, your money problem, is to make more money when you only just gonna spend more fucking money. That's not, the math ain't math in here. It's not making any fucking sense. And it's not going to make sense until we sit down with ourselves and understand what the real issue is and how do we address it monolithically. We have to be monolithic about this. You have always heard me, especially on this show, on my podcast, talking about the power and the importance of being a monolithic people. Because we can get so much fucking done if we just came together, put our egos and prides aside, okay, and really come up with actionable items that we can fucking execute. But yet we can't do that when you're out here pushing your own goddamn agenda and not seeing the bigger picture here. But then, and at the same breath, you also fake outrage and, oh my God, I can't believe he acted like this. Really? You really can't believe that? Because if you was in the same goddamn position, you would have done the same fucking thing. Probably worse. And you can sit up here and equate him talking bad about the institution he just got hired into a person on their everyday job, bad mouthing the damn employee or employer that just hired him, talking bad about the job and think he gonna keep the job. It's not the same thing. This is not the same. This is not even remotely close to it. So stop comparing, okay? This is about a black man who already well established in his own right when it comes to money. He ain't hurting for money. He good. His family good. But yet he thought it'd be a great idea to take his resources, his knowledge, his know-how about the game and be able to teach young black men at an institution of higher learning that's an HBCU where almost 100% of students at the damn school are black. These are black young men who want to learn from one of the greatest damn safeties ever played the game on how to play the game right, how to be successful at the damn game, how to make millions, how to be able to take care of their families. That's what the fuck they did. If y'all know anything about Ed Reed's backstory, he didn't come from money. He came from the mud of Florida, down there, deep down in Florida, and got on board with Miami. Had some mentors mentoring him and helping him understand what the bigger picture was, and got his ass and won the national title with the damn Miami Hurricanes, and went to go play football for a number of years with the Baltimore Ravens. Won 2 Super Bowl rings with them. This man has won on every level. He knows how to win. He knows how to coach. He has the heart for coaching. Now, it's not to say that coaching is the only way to impact these young black men. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm not going to sit up here and knock and tell another black man what you need to be doing. No, I'm not going to do that. If that's your dreams and aspirations of becoming a coach and impacting their lives in that way, I salute you, black man. I appreciate you for taking that damn initiative to do that, because now it ain't many of us that's doing that lately. And the fact that he's a pro football Hall of Famer who knows this game in and out, up and down, left or fucking right. He can teach these kids more about just the game, man. Teach them about life. That's exactly what Prime did at Jackson State. He wasn't just teaching them the game. He teaches them how to be young men, how to be responsible black men, and how to look out. He even brought a social media influencer, model or whatever, to come and speak to the young black men on that school campus to talk about what to look for when it comes to groupies hitting you up on Instagram, on social media in general. When they see you get that big check, what you need to look for? The chick always asks you to fly out and this, that, and third, spend money on her. Does she really love you, or does she love the money that you have access to? He was teaching shit like that, man. We gonna sit up here and downgrade and disrespect this man and say we hope he fail? We got to work on our fucking priorities and how much better we got to be at this shit, man. But anyway, in closing, I want to tell y'all, man, make sure y'all tune into my podcast, because I'm talking more about issues like this, because I'm not just congratulating and acknowledging the positive things we're doing. I'm pointing out the negative shit that we got to stop doing too, because we got to hold each other accountable. That's the only way we're going to really get ahead in life and be able to be successful in our own right. So I hope y'all love this. I hope y'all pay attention to it. Some of y'all ain't going to like it. I appreciate you not liking it too. I appreciate that much criticism, because that's how we get better. But at least I'm willing to learn from you all, only if you have merits behind the comments and feelings and thoughts about the situation. Because if you don't, if you just got opinions and there are no facts behind the shit, I don't want to hear it. Because opinions have to be stemmed from some type of facts. So love y'all, man. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day, rest of your week. May y'all prosper. I love y'all, black people. Let's move together and be successful together monolithically, because that's the only way we gonna do this shit, man. We can't do this shit alone. We gotta stop being so many crabs in all these barrels and start being sharks in the fucking oceans. Salute, man. Y'all have a good one.